It is 317 time. UFC 317, Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 3, happening this Saturday, July 19th. Pretty exciting night. I'm on the side of everyone else that I would have liked to see Dustin fight someone else for his retirement fight. It could have been a lot of other people. This is fine. This is going to be a good night no matter what. I don't like saying too many complaints about it because we got a bunch of fights stacked up. Some of them are going to be pretty exciting. Some of them are going to be guys we haven't seen in a little bit, but they left us with lasting memories. So I am looking forward to this fight night. I think it's going to be better than a lot of people. We got Carli Judice versus Nicolle Caliari. Last time I saw Judice fight was when she knocked out Dubin. That was pretty exciting. It was a little bit disappointing to see Dubin get taken out so quickly, but that made me pretty hyped up on Judice. I'm very much looking forward to how Judice's striking is going to continue to improve, but I do think that Caliari is going to be able to do a little bit more everywhere. She's going to be the one that's going to be pushing the pace, and even though Judice probably is going to get a couple of good cracking counter shots, I think that if Nicolle is able to cross the boundary, cross the horizons, enter her void, and go beyond it, I think that Nicolle is going to have a fairly straightforward time to just hold her against the cage, ground a pound where she can, look for submission attempts where she can, and just kind of ride out to a decision. Looking forward, if it's going to be a good fight, this could be the worst women's fight in a while because we've been getting nothing but bangers for a little bit now. This one, I have the least amount of hype in a long time. So eat it, take it for what it is. Hopefully it's going to be good, but we're just going to move on. I'm going to go Nicolle with a decision victory. It just seems super straightforward. Again, I hope that Judice is able to show amazing striking. Get another head kick, fucking lady. Get that fucking shit, man. It's going to be fucking dope if you do. All right, well, let's move on. We have Brunno Ferreira versus Jackson Mcvey. If you know about Brunno Ferreira in his last fight, you know that this guy is hype. He is a little ball of meat, power, and durability. This guy, I don't see Jackson having any fucking hope. Jackson was supposed to fight a week or two ago in a different card because he kept on trying to step on short notice to fight Dumas, but it just didn't pan out. It sucks because I think that Mcvey is pretty good from what I've seen in his fights, which have only taken place outside the UFC, obviously. I think he's good, but against Ferreira, who is just literally the definition of a mini Hulk, it's a horrible matchup for Jackson. He's getting thrown in there to fucking die, so I hope his paycheck is good enough. I'm going to be going with Ferreira first round TKO. This is going to be a fucking nasty fight if it goes exactly the way I'm picturing. Ryan Spann versus Lukasz Brzeski. Hard one. I only have one phone to look up shit right now, so I'm going to have to open them. I'm just going to roll with that. Let's just hope that it's his name right. Moving on. Impressive that Lukasz gave Walter Walker his last loss. Kind of cool, especially with how good Walker had been doing in his last couple fights. For Lukasz to be the one giving that last loss is pretty nice. However, it's been a long time, like a full year, maybe two even, and he's been kind of on a downward slump. And that's not to say that really Ryan Spann is any better, but he at least is not 0-2. He's 1-1. He does have some athleticism that I've seen before. I don't care for this matchup if I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to go with Ryan Spann to be a bit more active in his striking and a bit sharper, cleaner, and faster and harder. I think it's just his striking is going to be where everything is going to be money, and I don't think Lukasz is going to be able to compensate with good grappling or anything like that. So going with Ryan Spann, I do kind of like a round 2 KO, and I'm going to say that. Round 2 KO, Ryan Spann. We have Jimmy Crute versus Marcin Prachnio. Yeah, man. Okay. Now, I liked Marcin. I'm going to say Marcin. I liked his last fight, even though he lost that, because it was a very, very exciting back and forth battle where he never stopped throwing something. If you watch that last fight, you'll see Prachnio throw this little question mark kick. It's the kick where you go and you fake the body and then you hit it on the head. This motherfucker landed that while he was getting pounded against the cage. Impressive. Very impressive, actually. I just think that Jimmy Crute showed a lot more in his last fight than I expected out of him. And so I'm really riding on Jimmy Crute to ride a bit of momentum from his last fight where he's just kind of getting back into the works of things and come out really feeling like a contender. Come out like you're trying to knock his head off. come out with nothing but power shots. Like, if you fight the way you did in your last fight against, I think it was Bellato or something like that, you should do very well here, but stay sharp. You have to stay sharp against Marcin because, again, he will throw shit from anywhere. If you think you got him in a tight spot, get ready for a head kick because this motherfucker can just throw shit out of nowhere from like a gust of wind. He has it. So this is going to be a nice bounce back fight from the previous one. I'm going Jimmy Crute. I'm going to go with a decision. I actually don't think it's going to be a very... I hope it's going to be exciting. Though both of these guys, if they both come in ready to kill, ready to take a victory, they both should put on a great performance. But I worry that they both might tire out. This seems like a match that they're both going to get very tired very fast. So I'm picking Jimmy Crute, riding out the decision. Third round might be a horrible round, but I think that he's still going to lose. Adam Fugitt versus Islam Dulatov. I'm pretty sure Dulatov is the Austrian or German, Austrian model. And he had his last fight in the Dana White Contender Series. The dude looked like a marauder. This guy, holy shit. He came out of what feels like nowhere and just laid on one of the worst beatdowns on his opponent that I've seen in a pretty fucking minute. It was one-sided to hell. But that's not to say, though, Dulatov got hit a couple times. He got hit a couple times. He just had an amazing poker face and just looked like a zombie eating those shots like it was nothing. I don't like that he got hit, but his shots that he threw back were powerful. Powerful. I'm talking like, I really do believe that if he lands most of the shots he landed against his last opponent, they're actually going to go out faster than his last opponent did. His last opponent just had some weird durability that they just were able to take a lot of these nasty shots. But don't get me wrong, Islam Dulatov throws nasty shots. So expect for Adam Fugitt to have to be on his back foot a lot more. I don't think he's going to be coming out with as much power to give Dulatov too much to worry about, but I think he's going to get the respect from Dulatov, that Dulatov's not going to just rush in there too fast. But expect for Dulatov to still run that fight. I'm going with Dulatov to get a round 1 KO. I think Fugitt's great, but I think that Dulatov is a couple steps ahead. And it's one thing if it's like a one step ahead everywhere, but it's another to be a couple steps ahead in many different areas. I think Dulatov is a couple of steps ahead in a couple of different areas. Round 1 KO for Dulatov. I'm looking forward to that one. That should be a pretty nice little bout. It's going to be quick for sure. Don't expect that one to go very long. Ateva Gautier versus Robert Valentin. Sad to say, but I am going to go against Robert Valentin. I only say that's sad because I actually did respect the fight he fought against Torrence Finney, even though he didn't get him out of there. He beat the shit out of Torres when he got the opportunity to, but he just couldn't hang with that grappling. I think he couldn't hang with the grappling, and that was his biggest mistake in that entire fight. His striking was overall fair, and he definitely put some beat down on Torres Finney, but it wasn't enough. And I do not believe at all that his striking is going to be enough to take out Ateva. Ateva's striking is monstrous. I mean, we talked about Dulatov previously in the last fight. Ateva's a different kind of power, too. That shit looks like it's from God. That shit looks nasty. I'm so excited to see Gautier fight because I just want to see what kind of power and demolishing fucking energy he brings to this fight. He's going to come in there looking to murder Robert, and if I'm not mistaken, I do think Robert's going to be able to respond a bit, but Ateva's going to find that KO probably within the third round. I hope that Robert's able to last for a while longer and make it a good fight, but I totally 100% expect for Ateva's striking to be more than enough. The power, speed, and combinations he throws with his hands, good luck, man. Good luck, man. You got to fucking be ready to go to sleep. Otherwise, you're going to sleep. Good luck. Francisco Prado versus Nicolle Veretennikov. Yes. I like these guys. Now, Prado has gone on a bit of a streak before. He's gone on a bit of a losing streak, but it's been against amazing competition where Nicolle's last loss was to Vanderford. Yeah, and he was pretty upset by that call of the shot. Nicolle's last fight was his debut fight, I think, Didn't go great for him. Didn't show me anything that I have any confidence in him. Meanwhile, Francisco Prado has been losing his last couple fights, but it's actually made me more of a fan of him. He does come out there. He comes out and he bangs. He tries to get it off, but he has been facing some real tough opponents lately. That I think that's the biggest reason why he doesn't find success as of late. I think he's going to be able to find a lot of success against Nicolle, and Nicolle is going to be a bit pissed off again. Let's expect for Nicolle to be a little bit upset walking away from this fight. Damn, even with me just saying that, though, it does make me anticipate for Nicolle to come up a little bit harder in this fight. So this is a true toss-up 50-50. Who knows which way, whatever, whenever. But I'm going Francisco Prado to just get that decision. I think he's going to ride a little bit more on the outskirts. He's not going to fight a very dangerous, deadly, active, fast-paced fight, but he's going to be fighting his fight still. And when he fights his fight, he's going to lead the fight. So Prado, decision, not going to be easy. He's going to have to work on this one. Out of all the fights I've listed so far, I feel like this is the most 50-50 besides Judice and Caliari. So who knows on that one? I'm picking Prado. I expect Prado. We should anticipate Prado. Let's see, though. Let's just see. Marvin Vettori versus Brendan Allen. Okay. Pretty cool for both of these guys to be active. I like that. I come on, man. You can shit on fighters all you want, which I don't agree with. But you can shit on them all you want, but you gotta respect activity. These guys just got beat up not a few months ago, and they're already back in the octagon ready to go again. I respect it. I love it. And both of them come out with pretty good fucking fights almost every time. I like Brendan Allen's fight, even against Hernandez where he lost. I like Vettori's fight against Lidze, even though he lost. Both coming off of losses. Brendan Allen off of a lot of losses. Vettori more after a long layoff. So I think Vettori is actually going to be coming better than ever in this fight in specific because he's going to want to show everyone he didn't just come back from a long layoff to just lose fights. He's going to come back to win. I expect this to go basically to round 2 for it to be a TKO for Vettori, but let's not be too confident on that. I don't think Vettori gets the most finishes. More of a decision guy. I could totally see this going to the decision, but if it does get a finish, I'm going Vettori. Absolutely in the second round. The biggest danger in this whole fight is Brendan Allen, though. Vettori is going to have to make sure this fight largely happens on the feet at a distance that he is comfortable to fight at. Because if he gets too close and Brendan Allen gets a couple holds on him, I mean, Brendan Allen might not get the submission, but he's going to be dominant on the ground and get the decision away from Vettori that way. So it's anyone's fight if they're up to it. But it is up to Vettori to be the one to control Allen. And more for Allen to be as unrelenting as he can and kill Vettori as early as possible. Going to be a good fight. This is going to be a great fight. I'm so looking forward to this. Again, picking Marvin Vettori. I'm going to go round 2 TKO just for fun, but I don't be surprised by a decision here. We got Kyler Phillips versus Vinicius Oliveira. We got the guy that lost to Rob Font last versus Vinicius Oliveira, who just beat a Nurmagomedov. If you know Vinicius, you know how scary that motherfucker is. That guy is terrifying. I saw a comment recently on a compilation of his fights that was very true. This guy knows how to fight. If you know what he means, what that comment means when they say that, you understand why Vinicius is the scariest guy in that division, right? Is easily one of the scariest guys in the division. The power and speed that he has is incredibly dangerous. He is a walking velociraptor. He will cut you to shreds and knock your ass out viciously and violently in 2 minutes. If you're not as good as Nurmagomedov is, good luck to you. I don't see most of his division being able to keep up with his ass. I'm going to be going Vinicius here. I'm going to be going round 1 KO. Not because Kyler Phillips is that bad, but because Vinicius Oliveira needs that good of competition. He needs the high-level competition at this point because he's going to be coasting through these unranked fighters for a long time unless they just fucking throw him in the ranking. Get through Kyler Phillips, first round KO, call out someone in the top 15, and get that fucking fight. I look forward to it a lot. I very much look forward to this. Michael Johnson versus Daniel Zellhuber. Okay, Zellhuber's first fight since the Sphere. Been a long time. Michael Johnson's first fight since I don't remember when. We'll just move on from that fact. Either way, I'm picking Zellhuber here. Sucks to say, But yeah, man, you got to go Zellhuber. Okay, Michael Johnson, sure, he still gets some knockouts every now and then. Still a danger, still striking, still there, still a god, still a dog, not god, still a dog. But Zellhuber's young, up and coming, clean, hard hitting, fast hitting, game. I mean, he's young, so he's going to be able to eat a lot of shots. I don't think Johnson's going to knock his ass out. If you saw his last fight against Ribovic, yeah, Zellhuber's not getting knocked out. I anticipate for Zellhuber to sadly get a KO on Michael Johnson. I don't know if he can get in the first round. I'll say the second round, though. I initially wrote third round KO, TKO, because I don't see Johnson just going to sleep like that in this fight. But we've seen it before. I just failed to remember that when I was writing this stuff. But let's just face reality. Johnson gets put to sleep. I'm going to say Zellhuber round 2 KO. I think Zellhuber is just going to be faster, lay some deadly combinations. If he lays a 5-hit combination, Johnson's going to sleep. That's it. Really, I think it's just like that, too. If he lays a combination that's greater than 3, he's going to put Johnson to sleep. I look forward to this matchup extremely. We got Dan Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. I'm picking Dan Ige. If you see both of their last fights, it should be very clear to you why. Patricio has like no head movement. He was there against Yair Rodriguez to get beat on all day. Maybe he had a moment in like the third round, but he did nothing. He's lucky that, what is that guy's name? The guy who fought Patchy Mix, yeah. He's lucky that Patchy Mix had his fight because Patchy Mix now holds the title of the worst introduction to the UFC fight. The worst by far. But Pitbull's performance was second to that. Maybe next to fucking Kaya Sakura because at least Pitbull didn't get finished. But my God, was it a bad performance. Meanwhile, Dan Ige put on one of the most impressive performances from him I've ever seen in my whole goddamn life against Sean Woodson. Sean Woodson was a up-and-coming killer. If he was able to get past Dan Ige, I foresaw him easily stepping into the top 10s and getting into some wars. Dan Ige put a fucking stop to that shit right away. Second this guy came up to the gates to try and get into this fucking queue, all of these motherfuckers lined up for the belt, Dan Ige fucking kicked his ass out of that fucking line. Amazing performance by Dan Ige. That's what I'm hyped up on. I'm going to go Dan Ige to get that decision victory here. Fuck, man. If this is just a striking fight where Dan Ige boxes the fucking head off of Pitbull, you gotta be satisfied with that. That's so entertaining. Very much looking forward to Dan Ige. Kevin Holland versus Danielle Rodriguez. Now, this entire time I've been doing this YouTube shit, I've been on fucking Kevin Holland, then I've been off of it. Last time I was off of him, I went wrong. It sucks to say that. No, it doesn't suck to say that. I'm actually very happy to say that because he's taking it seriously now. He's actually fucking putting max effort. If you see him training in those fucking off seasons and whatever the fuck in the embedded videos, dude, he's locked in. He's more locked in than I've ever seen him before. He's more dangerous than I've ever seen him before. Been in the gym more than I've ever seen him before. More fights than I've ever seen him before. My God, this is the best Kevin Holland we're getting in a long time. The big thing, though, is right now, is with this fight, while he has this beginning momentum, keep the momentum. If he can get past Daniel Rodriguez, who's going to bring him some really crisp shots on the return, he's going to get a really exciting fight after this one. I don't know exactly who they're going to really want to match him up with. Maybe Bonfim, now that Bonfim got his ranked shot. But if Kevin Holland is the version of Kevin Holland that we all wanted to see for a very long time, he legit could get a shot at the title by the end of the year or by the end of next year or something like that. If he wants it, he could go get it. Okay? That's just what I want to preface this. We're dealing with that kind of Kevin Holland. If we're dealing with this kind of Kevin Holland, I'm picking him all day against Daniel Rodriguez to get a KO in the first round. I think the nerves probably going to get to Daniel, especially the talking that Kevin does. That's going to bug the fuck out of Daniel. Daniel's going to overextend. Kevin Holland's going to knock him out. That's kind of just the way it goes. Kevin Holland, first round KO. I don't want to root against Daniel Rodriguez, but sadly, man, it's Kevin Holland in a prime right now. Let's go for this shit. We got Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. I don't have too much to say about this one. You should really not be putting any money on Costa, though. That's all I really want to say. I'm picking Kopylov to strike his head off. I'm picking Kopylov to maybe get a finish by the end of the last round, third round probably, just like against Chris Curtis, honestly. Because that's kind of what Kopylov's really good at. He's amazing at his striking. And as it picks up, he just gets better. As the rounds go on, his striking becomes crisper, harder, deadlier. It just becomes worse to deal with. I don't think that Paulo Costa is going to be able to do shit with that. I think Paulo Costa is going to try to outmuscle him. I think that's going to be a good way to go about it. Really try to overpower him with strength. But I don't think he's going to be able to get his hands on Kopylov. Maybe if he gets his hands on Kopylov, great. He got a great shot. Maybe he could throw some knees up the middle, take him down maybe. But, I mean, Paulo Costa likes exciting fights, even if he loses. That's what Kopylov's going to deliver, and he's going to beat Costa. It sucks. Like, I want to say more. I want to analyze Paulo Costa more, but he kind of does the same thing. He'll walk forward. Maybe he'll throw a fucking spinning kick every now and then, like, one of those fucking wheelhouse kicks he does. But for the most part, he's going to be there to get hit. So, Kopylov, round 2 KO, round 1 KO, not round 1 KO, but let's say round 3. Let's stop fucking around. Round 3 KO. All right, let's just say that. Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier 3. I'm picking Dustin Poirier. What the fuck are you gonna do? What? Come on, man. This is the whole thing about why this specific fight isn't the most hyped up. Because it's the third time it's happening. And 2 of the 3 fights, third one still to be determined, but the 2 fights that happened both went the same direction. They both went to Dustin Poirier by a pretty fair margin. And Dustin has not stopped getting better. Neither is Max, obviously. But, I mean, guys, it's kind of just to be expected, right? I mean, from what I've seen for all the trilogy fights and all these fights that have rematches and whatever, 90% of them end up going exactly the way they did previously, but maybe small adjustments win the fight. Okay? I don't think small adjustments will win Max Holloway shit in this fight. I think major adjustments will win in the fight if he's able to increase his speed for the entire bout and stay on the giving end rather than on the receiving end more often than not. But I don't think that it's going to go well at all. I don't think he's going to be able to show off his improvements well against a guy who's beaten him twice already. That's the thing. I think that Max Holloway is gotten so much better, but so is Dustin. Dustin doesn't let Max show off his best skills, and Dustin's just going to beat his ass. It sucks, man. I don't want to see it, really. And even if it's the opposite, where Max then demolishes Dustin, fantastic. But now Max has basically nowhere to go. Topuria is not going to fight his ass. I'm sorry. It sucks. But I don't want to see that either. Even at lightweight, Topuria, man. Come on now. But we're not going to focus on that because it's a whole separate thing. This fight, here and now, I don't see any adjustments that Max could have made to win him this fight now. I maybe would have hypothesized some adjustments he could have made, but we've seen with his last 2 fights, Gaethje and Topuria, it's the same Max Holloway, but the best version of himself, basically. The same Max Holloway, but the best version of himself still is not going to be able to handle Dustin Poirier at Dustin Poirier's best. I'm sorry. It just sucks. It sucks. I'm just trying to be real here. I'm trying to just, make sense of it all. But it makes sense this way. It makes sense to me for Dustin Poirier to just win it again. And for him to just ride off into the sunset with a BMF belt wrapped around his waist and just saying goodbye to it. Let's just say goodbye to the belt with this, because after this, let's keep it in the legend books and keep it a fantasy for people to dream about, okay? Let's just fucking be done with it now. All right. I got in a bad mood because of the last fight. It's just upsetting, man. You don't want to see either one lose, and I'm just starting to picture either one getting their ass whooped. I don't like it. I don't like it at all, but whatever. I'm excited. Have good fights. Y'all have some good times. Live, laugh, love, whatever the fuck those books say. But do that shit. Really do that shit. Live well. Eat some good food. Do other stuff well. All right, just do good stuff. Peace out.